All right, folks, you know the saying, defense wins championships. Well, if Grambling keeps on playing like they did, they're well on their way to the SWAC championship.
What parts of your game were you looking to improve when you came into the league, and do you think you hit your mark? I definitely think I hit my mark. Spots I wanted to improve were more so internal and mental.
This week, the G-men are packing their bags and hitting the road for the State Fair Classic showdown against Prairie View. But before we talk Texas, let's rewind and break down what went down against those other Tigers over in Mississippi. One thing I would like to say before we toss it to the press conference, you know what team Grambling reminds me of? South Carolina. I think that Grambling has so much talent on their team, just like South Carolina, but they're just not able to capitalize on the games. After reaching the pinnacle of the SWAC last season and capturing the program's first ever SWAC championship, Grambling's men's basketball program has been projected to finish first in the conference's preseason poll. While head coach Dante Jackson has turned the page on last year's success, he's excited for the potential the upcoming season holds. Well, Grambling is really still trying to gel together. You know, they were ranked first in the preseason SWAC poll, but, you know, they're going against a lot of Power 5 teams, so it's going to be really hard for them to get points on the board, and it was in this game. It was very hard for them to get shots. They didn't really get any rebounds. They fell into foul trouble early in the game, and it just continued on. But as far as LSU is concerned, they really like that. Coaches often stress the importance of shaking off mistakes and staying focused on the next play. Well, Miles Crowley had his share of struggles over the weekend, completing just 14 of 30 passes, and he was briefly benched for 2 plays. Not that they really had anything to stop, really, but just like Jeremy said, it was a running game for Jalen Milroe. 4 touchdowns, 185 yards for 12 carries, and he was just on fire, and they did not find a way to stop him at all. Thanks for sticking around for sports, everyone. This Saturday, Grambling State will face off against Southern at the Superdome, hoping to spoil the Jaguars' party after Southern recently clinched the SWAC West Division title. Let's not forget last year GSU fell to Southern 27-22 in the Bayou Classic. But before we dive into this year's highly anticipated rivalry, it's worth considering the adjustments the Tigers will need to make in the offseason. Currently in league play, they rank 8th in passing, 7th in scoring, 9th in total offense, and 7th in rushing. With the season winding down, the Tigers are determined to end on a high note, heading into the offseason with the win. Well, I don't know about you, but the Heat is most definitely trying to run me off. But one thing I love about baseball season is the good tan that I can get out of it. Monroe resident Hillary Sermon is the driving force behind the organization. Inspired by her late son Benjamin, who was born with a rare genetic disease, Hillary wanted a place where Benjamin and his siblings could play together. This week was all about the kids, from football spring games to Cavante Turpin's football camp. It was unforgettable and kid-tastic. See what I did there? This weekend, the West Monroe 6U All-Stars played for the district championship, and let's just say these kids got game and swag. They won 20-10 and stayed undefeated throughout the season. Here's a silver lining. Even though the G-men didn't snag a win, they showed off a stronger ground game against the Tigers, which they've been focusing on establishing this entire season. I caught up with the first-year running backs coach about all the progress the G-men are making. Legendary former head baseball coach of Grambling State, Coach Wilbur Ellis, was inducted into the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame 2024 induction class. He also received the Louisiana Sports Ambassador Award, becoming the second person to achieve this honor. Thanks for sticking around for sports, everyone. Heaven Weeks is quickly rising as a front runner for the top spot in women's basketball for Louisiana's 2028 class. Standing at 6 feet and demonstrating exceptional court awareness and passing ability, her potential appears boundless.
Then Heaven has a chance to be really special. You know, she'll probably be the top 28 in the state. And you know, how far she goes is going to be dependent on her.
After receiving her first D1 offer as a top prospect for the class of 2028, Heaven Weeks realized that all her hard work had paid off.
I felt great because I was kind of down myself before that, and so like when I got the offer, I cried because I felt like that I really deserved it and that I've been working hard for it, so I felt great.
But what made Heaven stand out to college scouts so early?
I'm young and how I'm built. So like they seen that I had growth, like I'm gonna be able to grow because I have 4 more years left of high school. So they seen, my potential, I guess, and I could read the flow well, my passing ability.
You know, her as a player, man, she possesses some qualities that you just can't teach. She has a lot of God-given ability. Now we're to the point to where it's trying to push or marry what God gave her and the work ethic with each other,
But the grind is just getting started.
I'm trying to get a little shifty, like I think, yeah, I need to work on ball handling and my shooting. Like I could shoot mid ranges all day, but like outside, some games I'm on, some games I probably hit 3 in a row. Then some games I'm like, oof. That's just what I have to work on.
Coming from a basketball family solidified why basketball is Heaven's life.
When I was like a little kid, I was around my brother. My whole family was into basketball, so I was like, okay, the attention all on my brother, so maybe I need to see what I'm working with here. And I was great. Like as a youngin', I was great.
Being a baby sometime, of that bunch, of that little group, she's been around them. She has the ball when they're not looking. She's trying to mimic them and do things that they've done.
But that dog does not come from anywhere.
When I was younger, I was always the dog on the court. Like it was always pressure on me to like win this game and to get my teammates involved. So that's what I did. Like growing up, like I didn't care about what the fans said. I just focused on me and my teammates. And I don't know, it's just what I had to do all my life until I came to Wiseman, because it was like the tension was all on me. So I had to figure out a way to to handle it. And it was tough. It was so tough. It was hard on me. I cried after games, but I knew that I had to keep working because my teammates needed me, I needed me, and my coach needed me.
Heaven Weeks is undeniably making her mark as a standout contender in Louisiana's 2028 basketball class. And with her impressive skills and dedication, she's poised to make waves in the basketball world and at Wiseman. I think it's fair to say keep an eye on her journey, because I know I am. Until next time, I'm Ayanna Bronner. A final look at your forecast after the break. Thanks for sticking around for sports, everyone. In Northeast Louisiana, volleyball is still the new kid on the block, but West Monroe isn't wasting time getting in the game. Leading the charge for the Lady Rebels is Trey Long. After making his mark in baseball and football, Long's now aiming to spike his way to victory on the volleyball court. He's bringing that championship mentality and turning up the heat, looking to put West Monroe volleyball on the map.
So my background is in baseball and football. I've been a part of those programs here and other places. We know what it's like to win championships in those programs, so we're trying to bring that same mentality into here. Hold them accountable, be it at practice, be a good teammate, buy into what your coaches are saying. All that goes a long way to help us be a successful program. Adding the new complex here that we just got recently is really a big deal for us, for our part of the state. For me personally, this is all new. I am learning a ton. I tell you what, if you've never been out to watch a volleyball game, though, it's a very fun sport. It's a lot of action nonstop. It gets intense, as we saw last night. So, yeah, it's really, really big deal. We have 6 seniors that all play an integral part of our team. Not all of them are on the court all the time. However, they're all involved, all making sure that things are going smooth in the locker room, on the bus, whatever it may be.
It's actually been pretty great to see everybody grow and learn how to do new things. I feel like people have become more confident in playing and working together, and I feel like it's amazing to see even people like our sophomores and juniors being able to play on varsity. I feel like it's like a proud moment to see that they've worked hard to get to where they are now.
It's amazing. I love working with them. It's incredible because we all work together to achieve our goals. This is my 4th year in volleyball, and I've loved it every single year.
The Lady Rebels have the potential to go far, but success in volleyball comes down to chemistry.
I think the potential is unlimited, honestly. I think what we're working on now more than anything is just building some team chemistry, trying to figure out to leave all the pettiness aside, leave all the stuff that we don't need to bring into our team out of it, and just focus on having fun and playing the game. We're working through our issues, as every team does, trying to do some team building stuff, but we had a great meeting with the team yesterday, and I think they came out and showed, that they understood what we were trying to convey to them, to let them know that, hey, we're not going to be successful if one person's not bought in. It's got to be everybody. So I think they understood that message, and I think it showed last night.
We all weren't really close, like, before we all started playing together, but now we're like a big family.
For these seniors, volleyball is more than just a game. It's family and life lessons all rolled into one.
It is a big part of my life. I've loved the girls I play with. We're like family. I love the sport, and it just means a lot to me.
Volleyball has taught me to not take things to heart and to just keep pushing through hard things because, like I said, it's a mental sport. You can get in your head very easily, and I think that, even if you do win a game, you still have like, oh, I could have done better, and you're so hard on yourself, but you just gotta like push through and be like, no, I did do good, and I'm gonna do better next game.